What would you say is the number one issue that frequent flyers are facing?
Yeah, usually when I speak to someone and I mention frequent flyer programs and they roll their eyes to me, it's usually because they've had a bad experience when they looked to redeem their points for a flight. So they may have spent years earning points one way or another, and then when they went to use them, they could never find the flights they want, and eventually they'd redeem them for just anything just to get rid of the points. And so it's that reward seat availability is the key issue.
Right. Well, let's dive into how you're going to help fix that. If reward seat availability is often what people are complaining about, what advice would you give? What should we be looking at to try and help alleviate that issue?
Flexibility. Be flexible, flexible, flexible. And there's numerous ways you can be flexible. So firstly, you want to be flexible with the dates that you travel. Not everyone can, because some people have jobs that, for example, they have specific holiday periods and that's when they've got to travel. Unfortunately, for most people, holiday time is the busiest time. But if you can travel outside of those times, that's the first thing that you should try and do. The second one is flexibility of routing. So for example, yes, everyone does want a business class seat on Qantas between Sydney and Los Angeles at the northern summer or Christmas time. So the thing with that is usually Qantas can sell those seats to cash paying customers, so there won't be many reward seats there. But you could still get to LA in a non-direct way, right? So why fly direct when you can connect is probably a good saying to have in your head when you're looking for reward seats, especially in a premium cabin, possibly a busy time on a busy route. So for example, I use Sydney to LA Qantas as an example, but you could use its One World partner Fiji Airways, for example, and go via Nadi and then to LA. And soon there'll be Hawaiian Airlines that will be joining the alliance as well, and you could maybe go via Honolulu instead to get to LA. So that's what I mean by just being flexible with the routing. And also, we've discussed earlier, being flexible with your rewards program helps as well. So if you can get into a Pay Rewards or an Amex Rewards, that will help because what I've just said just doesn't apply to Qantas, for example, applies to all the other airlines as well.
Yeah, I think that routing in particular just really resonates with the experience I've had. You know, opening up your creativity to the options that you can use to get somewhere. You know, to your point, if the easiest way is to go from A direct to B, well, then everyone's trying to get from A direct to B.
Exactly.
So why not go via C, spend a little time in D, and then get to B?
Exactly. And you know what? It could be a great addition to your holiday, like either at the beginning or the end. I wouldn't mind spending a day or two in Fiji or Hawaii. Why not?
You've sold me. Based in Melbourne, it's cold down here.
Yeah, I know.
So traveling by myself, trying to find one seat is one thing, but say I need to try and book a trip for myself and my family, what's the best way to approach that? Because that's a lot of people to try and get seats for. Yeah,
and that scenario happens a lot, doesn't it? So yes, it is easier if you're looking for just one seat rather than four, especially in business class again. So look, one of the things you can do is, this is not for everyone, but I've heard this happen. This can happen a lot, and it can work, obviously, is that you split the travel parties. So you go on two different flights, obviously, hopefully around the same time, and hopefully within the same airline if you can. But if you split the parties, you're likely to get, let's say, a family of four. If you split it in two and two, you're much more likely to find reward seats in business class for two than for four, for example. So that could be an option as well.
Divide and conquer.
But it's not for everyone. But I've heard lots of people do it. So
yeah, so have I.
Yeah.
So talk to me about alliances and how we can make the use of them, because we often hear talk of One World and Star Alliance, but there's more to it, isn't there?
Yeah, and One World is a very key one in this market because Qantas is a member of the One World Alliance. Star Alliance is also very popular in this market because the likes of Singapore Airlines, for example, Air New Zealand, these are all airlines that are part of the Star Alliance. One that is sort of forgotten in this market is SkyTeam, and that's because there's no real Australian-based or airline that there's based around here that's in the SkyTeam Alliance. But it can be a very lucrative option to consider when you're looking to redeem points. Why? Because most Qantas members will be looking to redeem their points on One World Airlines, including Qantas. Most people who are members of KrisFlyer, which is a very popular program here, or Velocity, will be looking to redeem for Star Alliance partners because Velocity's got a lot of Star Alliance airline partners themselves. Not as many people based in Australia will be looking for SkyTeam Alliance partners. So again, that starts to solve that one of the major problems, which is reward seat availability. And there are a number of SkyTeam airlines that fly into Australia. So this includes Vietnam Airlines, Delta Airlines, China Airlines, for example. So there's a lot of airlines that are still trying to fill these seats with reward partners as well. So now the catch from many Australians is that, or Australian-based travellers, is that they find it hard to earn rewards points that are, with an airline that's a SkyTeam Alliance airline. But that's where flexible rewards programs comes back in. So Pay Rewards, for example, has Vietnam Airlines as a rewards partner. And American Express Rewards has Virgin Atlantic Flying Club, for example. Both are members of the SkyTeam Alliance. So that's a really good example of when flexible rewards programs can really work to your advantage, because there would be likely more seats in those SkyTeam Alliance airlines.
I think it really shows the value of thinking about partners that you might not often consider, because they have great product.
Yeah, that's right. I like to call that thinking outside the box, really, because most people just go straight to the Qantas and the One World and the Velocities, KrisFlyers, Star Alliance, and they don't think about SkyTeam. If you've got a flexible rewards program currency, definitely think about it.
Yeah, because it gives you access to all three alliances rather than just relying on one or two.
Definitely. Yep. And again, your options increase.
We've spoken about trying to find seats, but are there any services that can actually help you find seats for travel, especially with redeeming your points?
Yeah, definitely. So firstly, starting with what we offer at Pay, there's Pay Travel. So that's a team of travel experts that can help you with redeeming your points to find those elusive flight rewards, but also they can help you build a very tailored itinerary as well if you're wanting more than just the flights. So that's the first point of call, really, and that's that full service option. But look, if you're a more of a DIY sort of person when you're looking at redeeming your reward points for seats, there are many third-party tools out there as well that can help you find those seats. So things like Seats.aero, Award Logic, and SeatSpy, for example. And there's other tools out there as well. So just Google it and they can help you out.
Yeah, there's also a lot of I know there's a lot of publications online that can help with guides around how to find seats, how to look at sweet spots alongside these tools. So I know Point Hacks in Australia, alongside a number of others, can be really useful resources.
Yeah, definitely. Point Hacks is one of the leading ones. It's been around for a long time.
You and I know it very well.
Yes. So that's got a lot of Australian-based programs covered. So yeah, they can definitely help you out.
So we get a lot of questions that we're often asked when it comes to points, rewards that we haven't necessarily covered yet on the series, but got a list of them. In our next module, I'm going to ask you some of the key ones, and really curious to hear some of your responses.
Yeah, definitely.